Okay, welcome to Liquid Lunch. Coming at you. It's July 2nd now, the day after Canada Day.
Happy Canada Day and I was going to say U.S. Canada Day. You know what? That may not be so far from the two.
Why? What do you mean by that, Sandra?
Maybe there's going to be a merge.
Why do you say that?
And it's going to be celebrated on the 2.5 day of July. Because we have to
Or
go
maybe
halfway.
the 3rd, because isn't their day July 4th? Their national.
But ours is the 1st.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
So 2.5.
That's why you're saying 2.5. Yeah. Good point.
Or we could just celebrate the whole thing from the 1st to the 4th.
Yeah, 4-day holiday.
That would be good. See, you know what? The public would probably go for a merger if we could have a 4-day holiday.
Would you go for a merger for that, Sandra?
Never.
Why
Never,
not?
Never.
Why?
Never because, well, first of all, I think we should just merge the world. Forget the borders and merge the world.
Don't worry, that's happening.
But not in terms of a new world order. I know that's where we're going.
It's happening.
In terms of a new world order, you mean?
I don't know. We have Anne-Marie joining us. Anne-Marie's a big expert.
Anne-Marie's our expert on this now.
Oh, no, I'm not.
She's our rover news reporter on...
You know what I do want to talk about? You know the young man that's trapped in the airport in Russia?
Oh,
Snowden?
Yeah. He's not trapped. They're making a movie.
What's...
Steven Spielberg's going to direct. They tried to get...
Brad Pitt?
No. Forget it.
Hugh Grant?
No, I was thinking about that airport. Near Montreal.
What is going on with him, though?
Mirabel. That's where they filmed that other movie.
Well, Venezuela has made an offer that he can go to Venezuela.
Okay.
And Putin has said that he can stay in Russia as long as he discontinues this
Spying?
Spying. What makes me so furious is Obama and how the young man's being charged with espionage.
Yeah.
Like, for telling the world that Obama was and the American administration is spying on all Americans.
Yeah, but you know what?
charged with
The
espionage.
NSA has a lot more confidential information, a lot more than just spying on the public.
Like what?
And I think Snowden probably has had access to some of that, and I think that's why Obama's going after him.
Said, well, I don't know if he said.
Like what? Like what? Like contact with ETs, working with ETs and stuff like that.
Well, the ETs.
And experimentation and stuff like that. A lot of the experimentation and things like that.
Experimentation? Like what?
On humans and that kind of thing.
Oh,
there's all kinds of information. Well, I think it's possible. I mean, some of the stuff that I've found that the NSA has contact with, I thought, wow, if I were Snowden and I had access to that information, I'd be going public too. So I'm thinking there's a lot more that he knows that even he is letting on.
You should just march yourself right to a FEMA camp right now, Sandra, because you're obviously going to be trouble in the future. You're like
oh no,
Edward Snowden.
I'm like a sucker.
Any minute you could be an Edward Snowden.
The only thing is that the United States has withdrawn his passport, right?
So what does that mean? He can't
travel anymore.
But if Venezuela has made this overture and is the only country that has, apparently, can he? Like, would he be allowed to travel there?
Or to Venezuela?
Yes.
If they don't need to see his passport, sure.
So no, but they could do that, right? Couldn't they?
Okay, but you can make exceptions whenever you want. I mean, anybody can do whatever they want, right? Yeah. Really and truly.
So I think he should accept that because apparently several countries have made overtures, but a lot of them he hasn't accepted.
Now, what about the theory that he's actually he did this on purpose? He's actually part of the establishment.
Yes, I did read that.
It's disinformation. What about that, Anne-Marie?
I don't think that's true. In my heart of hearts, I don't believe that's true.
So what happened with him possibly going to Ecuador?
It could be.
Wasn't he supposed to go to Ecuador?
Yeah.
And be with Julian Assange or something? Isn't that what Julian Assange is?
I don't know.
The Wikipedia guy? Yeah.
No, Assange is locked up in the Ecuadorian embassy in London.
Oh, so how come?
And if he walks out the front door, that's it.
How come Snowden can't go there?
Because he's stuck in an airport in Russia. And they won't let him. He doesn't have a passport.
They won't, yeah.
He can get what Jeffrey West has, which is that universal passport.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Citizen of the world.
What the hell is this, sir? What, did you make this up yourself?
Why don't we all make our own passport?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
That would be and then we can all make our own money.
Okay, bring in some paper mache tomorrow and some crepe paper, and we'll make our own passports.
That sounds awesome. Let's do that. We could have like a liquid lunch, how to make your own passport and make your own money show.
Yeah.
I mean, literally make your own money.
It would be valid nowhere.
Well, says who?
Well,
you know what?
the Canadian government.
Just speak another language and just and say, you know what? It's from like other country or something. We could say it's from Sirius B. This is a passport from Sirius B. How about that?
Yeah, the Sirius B. Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
Okay, we better get busy.
Yes, because we have some amazing guests.
But Anne-Marie, what did you want to say? You were what's happening in the world of everything?
Apostrophes.
Anything we need to know today before we get started?
Yes,
the new
let's
developments.
get this out in the open because so many people do not seem to understand that when you have a singular noun, say such as in chair, and you make it plural, all that's necessary to make it plural is you add an S, not apostrophe S. This is seen everywhere, and I don't understand why.
Where are you seeing it? In the Globe and Mail?
Yes.
Really?
Okay, you know what, Anne-Marie? Can you do me a favor? Can you actually, if the next time you see it, cut it out, and we'll actually show it on the next show?
Yeah.
Because I would like to see that.
I see it everywhere on the internet.
Now that she's looking for it, she probably won't find it.
Oh no, I will find it because it is everywhere.
Okay.
And someone in my co-op, because I'm on a committee in my co-op, so this woman in my co-op.
Why are you whispering?
You're fine.
Yeah,
So sent us all an email to the members of our committee and with real attitude, right? And she's bossing us around and everything, but I noticed that she'd made all these grammatical errors. So I emailed her back and politely said, you might be interested in knowing that you don't have to add apostrophe S. You just
Did you put that? Did you put that in all caps in your email?
Yeah.
What was your response back, Anne-Marie?
No response.
Oh. Have you seen her in the hallways or in the?
Thanks. THANK apostrophe S.
That would have been good.
That would have been so funny.
Yeah, that would have been good.
Okay, cut it out or print it out wherever you see it.
So you don't notice this, eh? It's not because
I don't
it's just
see
such
it
a
as much
bugaboo
as
with
you.
me.
I'll tell you, I'm very careful about that.
What I do see.
No, I can't imagine.
I have a problem, with the word "it's." Because that's the exception. When it's possessive, you don't add the apostrophe.
After the S, you mean?
It's only the apostrophe in "it's" is only when it's a contraction.
Yeah,
it
right.
is.
Yes.
You see, it's the little exception that makes it easy to remember the rule.
So we're just creating more exceptions.
How can you remember that so well?
Because I had to struggle with that for a long time, Anne-Marie. I had to.
So I'm also the other thing too is commas when they have end. Okay, and I don't know if that's new now, but you know how you'll say like apples, strawberries, and bananas? I'll see apples, strawberries, comma, and bananas. Because you see apples, comma, strawberries, and is supposed to take the place of a comma, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I see both now. I see apples, comma, strawberries,
I think both
comma,
are correct.
and.
That's a matter of personal style.
Yeah, I think that actually in that case both are correct.
So you could have a comma and end together?
You can.
Okay, we're gonna have to Google this.
No, don't Google it. I know the answer.
You do?
I just said what it was. It's
Are you
optional
Mr.
there.
Yeah,
it's
grammar?
optional.
I think he's right.
Myself, personally, I like to use the apostrophe.
No,
I mean
comma,
the comma. That's what I meant. Comma.
Okay.
Although,
Although.
I used to use commas a lot. And then I was cautioned by an editor, you're using too many commas.
Okay, so you can use comma
when you used
and
to write
and.
your newsletter, you mean? When you used
Yeah. So I started to just kind of go a little Spartan on the comma usage.
I see.
So now, so do you use it with the end? With the word end?
I don't know. I'd have to see exactly what I was doing.
Apparently, is this true here that when you write but, You write something and then put but? There's supposed to be a comma after the but?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, I read that the other day. I read that, but I thought, oh, that's something I did not know. But maybe I should Google that.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
Well, maybe we can do that in our next grammar lesson.
Yes, grammar lesson. Great
Yes.
grammar lesson.
Yes.
You know why I hate people calling, my name is Anne Marie, and people call me Anne all the time, and you know why I go ballistic?
Why?
Because in grade 8 grammar, who's laughing at me? You know why? Because in grade 8 grammar,
Yeah.
Anne is an indefinite article, and I am not an indefinite article.
Like an
Oh,
elk,
definitely not.
right?
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
Like an apple.
An elk.
An elk, okay. An
who's
Mediterranean
laughing at me
person.
back there?
Okay. Let's
Okay,
get.
so
Shall we get busy
All
then?
right.
Yeah, I guess
After we
better.
wasted all that
Thank
time.
you for that lesson, Anne Marie, and
Okay.
thank you, Hugh, Mr.
You stay
Grammar.
there, Anne Marie, until we take a break. Okay, so we have Menage coming on. We got Fernando and Bella are here.
Yay! It's so nice to see them
We got a
again.
new video from them.
They've
that we're
grown
gonna play. And Richard Baker's here, talking about all kinds of great business and marketing strategies, right, Richard?
Ooh, that sounds good.
And Jocelyn Woods will be Skyping in. I think she's somewhere in New England. And then Treela's coming, right?
Treela.
Massage, crystals, fairies.
And stuff like that.
Could be more interesting.
Do you want a sample massage? Because we're
Okay.
going to put a table here, and she'll give you a sample.
No, I don't think I do, but I might change my mind.
Well,
I'd like
then
to
we-
see some fairies.
Okay, well,
Can she bring some fairies in?
I didn't ask her about that. But you know what? They have their own passport, and they can come any way they want.
I know. Okay, great. So we're gonna play a video now. I found this little video. This is kind of neat. Remember Paul Harvey? Remember him? And,
Yes.
I remember the name.
Well, yeah. Well, you remember him, right, Sandra?
Yeah.
That guy.
Yeah.
You know, he's actually Canadian, but
He's got a funny voice.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, he used to do a syndicated little radio.
This is Paul Harvey.
spots. That's the guy.
Yeah.
So I got a little video here. Paul Harvey. It's called "If I Were the Devil." Let's play that, and we're going to come back with Menage as Liquid Lunch gets underway. But be right back.
If I were the devil, if I were the prince of darkness, I'd want to engulf the whole world in darkness, and I'd have a third of its real estate and 4/5 of its population, but I wouldn't be happy until I had seized the ripest apple on the tree. So I'd set about, however necessary, to take over the United States. I'd subvert the churches first. I'd begin with a campaign of whispers. With the wisdom of a serpent, I would whisper to you as I whispered to Eve, do as you please. To the young, I would whisper that the Bible is a myth. I would convince them that man created God instead of the other way around. I would confide that what's bad is good and what's good is square. And the old I would teach to pray after me, Our Father, which art in Washington. And then I'd get organized. I'd educate authors in how to make lurid literature exciting so that anything else would appear dull and uninteresting. I'd threaten TV with dirtier movies and vice versa. I'd peddle narcotics to whom I could. I'd sell alcohol to ladies and gentlemen of distinction. I'd tranquilize the rest with pills. If I were the devil, I'd soon have families at war with themselves, churches at war with themselves, and nations at war with themselves, until each in its turn was consumed. And with promises of higher ratings, I'd have mesmerizing media fanning the flames. If I were the devil, I would encourage schools to refine young intellects, but neglect to discipline emotions. Just let those run wild. Until before you knew it, you'd have to have drug-sniffing dogs and metal detectors at every schoolhouse door. Within a decade, I'd have prisons overflowing. I'd have judges promoting pornography. Soon I could evict God from the courthouse, then from the schoolhouse, and then from the houses of Congress. And in his own churches, I would substitute psychology for religion and deify science. I would lure priests and pastors into misusing boys and girls and church money. If I were the devil, I'd make the symbol of Easter an egg and the symbol of Christmas a bottle. If I were the devil, I'd take from those who have and give to those who wanted until I had killed the incentive of the ambitious. And what'll you bet? I couldn't get whole states to promote gambling as the way to get rich. I would caution against extremes in hard work, in patriotism, in moral conduct. I would convince the young that marriage is old-fashioned, that swinging is more fun. that what you see on TV is the way to be. And thus I could undress you in public, and I could lure you into bed with diseases for which there is no cure. In other words, if I were the devil, I'd just keep right on doing what he's doing.
Okay, back here on the show, and we're here with Bella and Fernando, and welcome, guys.
From Menage.
Good to
Well,
be
thank
here.
you. Good to be here. Sorry, I was a little.
I understand. Well, you're a singer, right?
We both are.
That's right. I knew that. But Fernando's not having the same problems you are.
Let's not go there. She just broke up with her boyfriend.
Did you? What? Really?
That's the next song.
Yeah, exactly. Juicy.
I'm kidding. I don't know. She was just verklempt.
You know, because of her ring. It's a combination. Amy, you remember when Dick Tracy was cool? Dick Tracy had a TV on his watch. Well, you got a phone on your ring.
Oh, see, she's part of that whole Illuminati thing where it's all secret code. We're being recorded right now as we speak.
I know. And we're
Speaking of
broadcasting
Snowden,
it on the
oh
internet.
my God. Okay.
So,
Nobody's saying anything now. We're all mom's the word here.
Okay.
No, you guys are back. You guys are from LA, right? Or living in LA? You're from here, but
Born and raised Canadian.
Yeah.
To Portuguese parents, and we've been in LA for about a decade, and now.
wow,
most
a
recently we're kind of
decade.
back and
Like
forth.
just out of diapers or what? Oh my God. Seriously, you guys have been there a decade?
Yeah.
Wow. And how, I'm
I
assuming
don't know,
you're
every
really
time I
liking
see you
it.
guys are here.
I know. Right? Every time we come, we stop.
Because they
by.
time travel.
We do.
I've got a video about that later.
Okay.
About the
I
time
knew
travel.
that. See, I went ahead in time in the show,
Yeah.
figured that out and brought it back.
So are you guys here for the summer, or?
No, we're just here for. We just played a festival in town.
Where?
At Downsview Park. It was our first outdoor big festival.
Oh, you already played it.
Yeah,
Most bands like plan things out where they come and they promote a show. We just come and visit.
Well, yeah, you know, because
We already
I mean, they are the greatest band with the worst promoting, because they said that they were written about in the paper, and I'm like, well, why didn't you bring it here? And they're like,
Look,
oh,
they have good promoting.
we should have.
They're huge in, well,
Portugal.
Portugal.
India.
Yes, and India. Are you guys huge in India?
We are. Yeah.
Oh my God! You guys should go become
Yeah,
part of
we're not.
Bollywood.
Yeah.
No, we're not.
Actually, when Fernando was born at the hospital, he was swapped with an Indian baby.
Briefly.
Who are you
Enough
swapped
to
with?
be. It's a touchy subject. He was actually, sucking on Indian milk for a while before they realized that.
How long? Like you actually went home?
No,
No,
it was a hospital thing. And And so he was swapped. So I would.
Is that true?
It's true.
You were swapped?
So he was teased growing up. Like I would tease him.
Because then there would always be a thing like, oh, maybe you weren't
You're not
switched
really
back.
our brother.
Maybe they never
So
really.
Menage is more
Wouldn't-
multicultural than we realized.
That milk probably had an effect.
Yeah, but you know what? I would really want to meet that person
mom.
years later. No, the person I was switched with.
Oh,
That would be kind of neat to see what you guys are like.
How you could have ended up.
Or how I really should have ended up.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Well, that guy's probably in LA too. You're probably walking by him, you don't even know.
How are things in LA? What's it like to live in LA?
like, let's get back on track, damn it. I don't know.
I think I've asked. I don't.
Actually, it's not hard to find the person I was swapped with because we know the hospital and we know the
name.
hour and day.
Well, you probably have pretty similar astrological
Exactly.
background, right?
I mean, there's a great song, and you could have him in the video.
What's it called?
Switched at birth.
Obviously.
Hello.
It's a good
That
name.
talk about merging cultures, though, fusion and stuff.
Yeah.
That would be very cool. Like, who would have thunk you
I
would
really
be
like spicy food.
And I wonder if he really likes Portuguese food.
It's possible.
I wonder if Portuguese is his second language. Okay, we digress. Okay, I just have to tell you though, I know you're from Canada originally and you're living in LA for the last decade, but I just want you to know that you probably forgot, but in the summertime it's actually warm here. You don't have to wear gloves.
That was a low blow. I didn't see that one coming.
that wasn't-
Trying to hug me goodbye. No, I actually.
Aren't you hot though, hon?
I'm.
Seriously.
Like really.
No, it looks cool though.
It does actually look really
I like
cool.
I
it.
actually have an issue with my hands, and I like to cover them.
Really?
Oh, you know what?
Yeah. You're like, now I see why.
No, not at all. You actually mentioned this on the last show. Because we were talking about all the rings that you wear. But you have beautiful hands, because I remember we looked at them. We
yeah,
were
no.
beautiful hands.
Childhood bullying will do that too.
Oh, Fernando.
Let's talk about Gabriel. Gabriel couldn't be with us today because this is like this was a sign of things to come, why he's not with us today. This is Gabriel having his first beer. My mom's passing it to him at the age of 3. He really celebrated this weekend, and that's why he's not here with us. 'Cause
Now, was he celebrating Canada Day
Yes.
or Gay Pride?
Now, okay, that was a worse low blow than mine. Okay,
Not that
that
there's
is
anything wrong with that.
really
but
bad.
accurate.
Bella, don't you think that was worse?
It's a valid question. It's a valid-
This is
That is not a valid question.
It is a valid question, I suppose. No, he celebrated Canada because it's been a few Canada Days that we haven't been here.
Oh yeah.
So he celebrated it.
So your family's still living here, though, right?
Yes.
So, I mean, how often do you guys get to come back home and see your family?
We come a lot. We visit him a lot.
Okay,
We're very
okay.
close-knit, so.
Okay,
Any
okay.
recording we do is always in Canada. So
Yeah.
anytime we have new songs, like right now we're recording new material.
Ah, okay.
While we're in town, we'll spend a bit of time in the studio.
Okay,
We'll visit
okay.
you, of course.
Why don't you guys?
This is gonna be
I'm
the
just
last time they
curious, why
visit
do you
us, by the
record,
way.
here in Canada rather than in LA.
That's a great question. Yeah.
I think we just found people we really like to work with at studios we really like.
And there's a big
vintage gearheads that collect amazing equipment. that we
Oh,
can
Fernando,
use.
didn't you say once? He said like there's so much talent in Toronto,
Yes.
like musical talent and otherwise. Whereas
remember, but
in
it sounds
LA, there's
right.
just a guy with faded blue jeans playing a guitar.
That sounds like something I would say, yeah.
Is that true?
I don't know. There's definitely good and bad everywhere, and I think there's a lot more of both in Los Angeles, so you see a lot more of the weak. As
Do you
well
guys?
as the good.
How do you guys fit in down there? Like you guys actually seem very Canadian
Oh, thanks.
to me.
It's funny, we do. I was talking about this with someone yesterday. We could live in Southern California, but we really do well in like Northern California for whatever reasons. And when we play the Midwest, it's really great. It's not like we have this like, huge, cult following in Los Angeles. Los
Yeah.
Angeles is like kind of like where you live and write or whatever. But I like playing outside the city for sure.
So do they treat you like Canadians? Do they know you're Canadian?
I don't think anyone really knows or cares. They're too caught up in their own self.
Okay. Oh, really?
No one's worried
Okay.
about themselves, and no one's really from LA, right? So everyone
Oh, that's a good
assumes
point. Yeah.
Whether you're from Montana or Canada, it's whatever.
Wow.
I just want to see Gabriel here on his first beer. That's why he's not here.
He's with us in
That was actually, I
spirit.
think, a Canada Day weekend as well.
Really?
Surprised my mother's not in handcuffs for that one.
Re-
Yeah, our mom was like the hipster of all hipsters. Even you can tell by her hair.
So talk about a little bit about your show and how it went. That was your first huge, really huge show, right?
Yeah, it was more stage than we're normally on top of each other on stage and like jumping on the spot. It was great to have. It was
Really
kind of
big
like what
stage.
you imagine when you're a kid and your dream is to
Wow.
play
that's
that.
amazing.
It finally happened, so it was great.
And you had no.
Is that,
Go ahead.
Sorry, is that the same stage that like the Rolling Stones played on when they were in town? Because
It's a good question.
at
Probably the same size.
down, because that's
It was
where they were,
Downsview.
Downsview, right?
Yeah, but I'm sure they set up and tear down the stage. I don't know, is there a permanent stage there?
I don't know.
No, I
I've
don't
never
think
even
so.
been there. I didn't even go to that
It was
show.
my first time, I gotta admit, but it was great. It's a great place, and
So is it? It must be very different when you're playing to a huge crowd, and this is an outdoor show, right?
yeah.
So, could you hear yourself? Could you even hear?
Well, we have like in-ears and stuff, but as a whole, the audience feels a little like far
Far,
away because
yeah.
there's the whole gate thing and
Yeah,
security
yeah.
and all this stuff. But yeah, I think that was the weirdest thing, is trying to feel as connected as we normally do when we're in like a sweaty small club and it just feels like a house party or something. So a little bit of that was lost, but we try to make it as interactive as possible because that's the whole point of what Menage is about. So
Did you say you had the in-ear monitors?
yeah, so you can hear
Start
yourself.
looking really
Otherwise,
pro.
it's
You know you're
really
a pro
hard.
band when you get those.
Yeah.
How does that? Okay, because I've never used those before. Does it make a huge difference?
It's like, yeah, it's a different
Yeah.
world. The only thing is you don't, like, I can't use both because I don't want to feel that separate from what's actually happening.
Yeah.
Because if you're in there, you're kind of in your own world.
Yeah.
People use them on
So
both
what do you
ears?
do then? You don't
Take
have
one
those?
out.
Pull one out.
Oh, you take one out.
So you still get the noisy
the
kind
crowd.
of
Otherwise, it's
everything
not
you're
as fun.
used to
Yeah,
hearing.
yeah, yeah,
So-
yeah.
But then you get the clarity at least of your voice.
I can,
more if you want.
and then can you control what you get in your own? Like, can you say I want more vocals in yours?
Yeah,
And
you could be
You
pretty-
play guitar, right?
You could be a
So you can
diva
say I
about
want
it.
more guitar. I mean, you want to hear it. I mean, that makes a big difference. Like every stage is different, right?
Well, they were just super great with us. They gave us like a crazy long sound check, like at noon or something. So the whole team that was involved with this, we really are grateful because they were just super with us.
And what was it like to have actual space to run around on?
We
To
ran
act-
around. Yeah, it was great, and we had like cordless everything, so you
Yeah,
could
like
just
State of the art.
like
Doesn't that go wrong though?
in
Like,
what way?
there's more chance for something to go wrong with all the wireless stuff. Though,
Sure.
right?
Yeah, I've had bad experiences and really good experiences. Kind of hit and miss.
I mean, eventually
I like to
that's.
be wired in personally.
Yeah.
But I could see how
I
a
don't.
cordless mic is cool or whatever.
No, I mean, yeah.
Eventually, you will, do a show where things are going to go wrong, and it's just
Oh,
about how
we've
you
done plenty of
adapt,
those.
right? Oh, you've already done a lot of those. Okay,
We got that
okay.
off the bucket list.
Like that's
Any
on your
time.
bucket list. I want to do a show where things go wrong.
And it's always like the city that you're most looking forward to, the show that
Oh,
you're
isn't that
like.
funny?
It's just all, like New York City was probably the worst
Yeah, really
show
bad sound.
last tour.
Why? What happened?
Everything
Like what?
happened. Like we start and the mics are not on, and
Yeah,
so the
things
whole
aren't
first half of
on
the
and-
song, no one's hearing anything but drums and guitar. And
Oh yeah.
it just, you name it, feedback.
But
the
it's also a
works.
city where, they're not giving you a sound check.
Yeah.
And you're showing up, you plug in, you better hope that.
It works.
Yeah.
What was the venue in New York?
We played 4 nights in New York. This one that you're talking about is a place called Pianos. On Ludlow.
Yeah, on Ludlow. Actually, Ludlow is mentioned in our new song
Song
because
we're
of
recording.
just memories from.
We also
Ludlow.
played a
It's
gay
pretty
bar
great.
in New York, actually.
Was it called the Rock Bar or something?
Maybe it was like the theme was gay, but rock music bar.
It's a great place.
Really,
great,
really,
great
really good.
energy.
Wow.
Like the people were amazing.
Good crowd.
And
We
the sound
sold
was good?
merch at our sound
Yeah.
check. We were selling merch.
Yeah.
There was just
Wow.
weird.
Wow.
Yeah, that was probably as many people as at our sound check than at our show.
Wow.
Actually, we were asked. I don't know. I got a couple emails asking if we're gonna do It's funny you mentioned Gay Pride next year, so we might actually. I don't know.
I mean,
It's on a
perform
float.
at a club or be in
that'd
the
be fun.
parade.
I don't know. I've never played Gay Pride, but
Oh.
just we'll see. We're out there.
You know what? It's an amazing event.
Yeah.
It's an amazing event. Actually, Ravel had an interesting experience where she just joined, I don't know, a float with her flute or something. Okay, that doesn't sound very right. Okay, it was a lot better than that.
It's a long story, but yeah, she did the
Very
Pride Parade.
graphic.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, okay. You know what? Let's move on.
Okay, guys. Well, listen, we got the video coming up, and you're in town. How long you in town for? You're working on the new some new recording and stuff
Yeah,
like
we
that.
have a couple new songs. If you go to, if you find us on Facebook, just find Menage the Band, and you just tell us that you saw this interview. We'll send you one of the new tracks for free.
Oh, nice.
We have new merch that's up there. We have just constantly a lot of stuff going on. So we're very grateful that you guys always welcome us back too. It's definitely one of the stops we always make when we're in town.
And are you guys doing any shows, any more shows here in Toronto before you head back?
No, we're taking a couple weeks break in
Okay.
July.
Okay.
Just because it's been kind of nonstop. And then August, we're going to be heading back to California.
Okay,
But before that, we might do a surprise show.
Oh,
We're
nice.
have to
kind
let
of
us
figuring it
know.
out now.
Can you let us
about
know?
that.
We'll put it on.
Absolutely.
That'd be
Wow.
fun. Thank
You get to come for the nice weather.
Yes.
You guys are smart.
Okay, so we're gonna watch the video now. This is what's this video we're gonna watch now?
This is Promises.
The song is called Promises. It was actually shot in whose house?
Gina Davis's house.
Gina Davis's house in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
I don't know who that is.
Because she's not using it anyway. Right?
Actually, she wasn't. It's like
Gina Davis. I thought it was Gian. Really? How'd you guys
Gina
get that?
Just a friend of a friend of a friend. That's the great part about LA. Everyone knows someone.
I heard she's
at some
very
point
cool,
who
actually.
Do have something interesting to offer.
Yeah, but she's couch surfing these days.
Yeah, but you know what? She can.
That's right, she can. Okay,
Maybe
guys.
she's in the couch on your video. In your video.
Well, you'll see. It's kind of the hardest thing we've had to film. We started crying at one point because it gets a little graphic, but the whole point of it's actually a beautiful story. I think, so.
Okay, well, thanks, guys, for coming in.
Thank
and
you. So
nice to see
where
you
is?
guys.
Let's give out the website where people can get in touch with all your
Everything's
stuff.
Menage the Band. So menagetheband.com, Facebook Menage the Band, menagetheband@gmail if you want to send us some lovely love letters.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Everything's Menage the Band.
All right, guys, this was fun. Thanks for doing this.
Thank
Wow,
you.
so nice to see you
thank you.
guys. You
Nice
guys
to see
look
you guys.
Awesome to
awesome.
be back.
And
Told you they
say-
grew up.
Huh?
Told you they grew up.
Yes. Okay. Anyway, here is the video Promises from Menage. We're going to come back with Richard Baker as Liquid Launch continues.
It's late now, winter's on its way now. There'll soon be a crowd out calling our names. Yeah, we'll hide here till we wake with the sun, dear. When the searchers appear, we'll bury ourselves in the leaves. Yeah. your promises, yeah.
Put very simply, the Montauk project was a back engineering of the seat from a UFO. The seat would take you anywhere you wanted to go via the power of your mind. This technology was used to produce a jump room to Mars and establish numerous colonies there. This was the inspiration for Total Recall, as Arnold sits in a similar alien chair before going to Mars. Jim Carrey sits in the Montauk chair in Eternal Sunshine of a Spotless Mind, and the specific location, Montauk, is mentioned multiple times in the film.
He said there's a room like an elevator. You go in the doors close behind you. Then the doors open, and you're there. He said it takes no time. You feel a bit weird. He said, but you go, you're in Europe or England or the UK or underground somewhere. He said there are a few of these things in different places. The jump rooms. You go into the jump room. Next thing you know, you're on Mars. You can go there for lunch. You can come back. It takes no time. The powers that be really don't have much to worry about because most people really don't know. There's not one colony on Mars. There are several.
Jim Carrey is an Osiris resonator, as he has played the Green Man in multiple roles. As the Grinch, who makes his home in the K2 Holy Mountaintop, or 1111, as K is the 11th number of the alphabet, the Joker in Batman Forever, and of course the green-faced madman in The Mask. As discussed in my previous video, his suit is also reminiscent of the Amanita muscaria mushroom. Over at The Blob, Jake Kotze pointed out the Morgan Freeman connection to K2 and his role as God in the film Bruce Almighty. Jim Carrey is found on the holiest of mountaintops once again, enhancing the significance, and connecting Osiris sun worship with the 2K Stargate symbol system. Freeman owns a production company called Revelations, and is in several films revolving around the number 7. Here's an excerpt from Jake's blog. There are many incarnations of the Green Man, which is basically a reincarnating sun metaphor. Think Jesus, Horus, and Hiram Abiff. Foliate heads and masks have served as images for Rome's Bacchus, Egypt's Osiris, Greece's Dionysus, which will be relevant when we discuss the Doors, Britain's The Green Knight, and Jack in all of these separate artistic representations of foliate heads, with similar death-rebirth themes spanning millennia of time in Europe, North Africa, and Asia. Osiris was not only the redeemer and merciful judge of the dead in the afterlife, but also the underworld agency that granted all life, including sprouting vegetation and the fertile flooding of the Nile River. The kings of Egypt were associated with Osiris in death, such that as Osiris rose from the dead, so would they, in union with him, inherit eternal life through a process of imitative magic. Val Kilmer plays a brass instrument in The Salton Sea, just as Green Man Carrey plays the sax in the film 23. Rowling has also stated that Hagrid from the Harry Potter series is also a representation of the Green Man. Kilmer is the masked Batman, Mars resonator, and associated with the Doors of Perception. Our starlet from the Matrix, Carrie-Anne Moss, brings Osiris to Mars, as one of the ships in the Matrix trilogy was dubbed the Osiris. Tom Sizemore was in Strange Days, a Y2K sci-fi thriller named after the Doors album of the same title, and also goes to Mars next to the man who played Jim Morrison, Val Kilmer. They find a patch of Green Man algae on the Red Planet, tying multiple themes together. Nicole Kidman resonates the Green Man, or should I say the Green Lady, as she is also seen in Batman Forever alongside Carrey and Kilmer, and stars in the Green Fairy-infused absinthe flick Moulin Rouge. Here we see the Green Fairy dancing atop the K2 mountain range, with a light bulb of illumination just above her. We see Kidman again in front of the 8-pointed star in the film that got Stanley Kubrick ritualistically murdered, Eyes Wide Shut. her small connection to the 2001 Black Monolith.
We are talking about the deepest, most concealed aspect of the UFO phenomenon you could possibly imagine.
When a symbol or number is given magical significance, it is no longer just a simple system of measurement.
She said it.
It's this number. This fucking number. 23. It rules my world.
It's my father's fault. He said he'd found a way to beat the number.
Of course, time is just a counting system. Numbers with meaning attached to them.
And we're back here on the show. I hope that video stopped, otherwise we're going to be competing with the audio, but here we are back on the show. So time travel, of course,
Can't we fix
exists.
that in editing anyway?
We're going to have to do something in editing.
Just play another video.
So we're joined here by Richard Baker. It's been a while, Richard, since you were on the show.
It has been a while, Hugh. It has been.
Here we are. And,
yes. Thank you again.
You're welcome. It's great to have you back on the show. And now you've been doing some new stuff since the last time you were here.
Well, we rebranded to be known now as GR Marketing Strategist.
Okay, GR Marketing Strategists. And so let's talk about... actually, I'm interested in your process of feeling the need to rebrand and then actually launching a rebrand.
Well, we were formerly known as Baker Branding, and we were just finding that many people were associating us with graphic artists and being a graphics artist and just creating a name and a logo. And we're more in the forefront of actually helping organizations create their brand identity.
So that's a good segue into the whole concept of branding, because if your brand is through your market research, you're determining that the way you're perceived as a brand is different than what you're trying to put out there.
Correct.
Or what you're trying to do, then that's what branding is all about, right?
That is what branding is all about, absolutely, exactly. And so we actually just related back to what we really are. We are marketing strategists, but G and the R stands for generating results, so we generate results for our clients.
Okay, so who would be a client?
We are particularly targeting the small to medium-sized business that are engaged within the food and beverage and the consumer household sector. That is my background. That is where I have the greatest passion for. So that's the type of organizations we help.
So small business.
Small to medium-sized business, absolutely.
In the what? Food and beverage?
Food and beverage sector, and natural health and consumer household.
Now, when you mention those market segments or whatever, I tend to think that I'm just. Are there a lot of small and medium sized? Because I know there's a lot of large companies in those sectors, but
well, there is. I think it's that they are hidden. They are hidden against the backdrop of
the big guys.
Of the big guys, the Coca-Colas of the world. But there's a lot of successful small entrepreneurs, small businesses that are looking to make headway into this industry. Very much so.
So maybe if you can just talk a little bit about branding and the importance of a small business to brand themselves, because you would think there's no point, because Coca-Cola's, everybody out there, they're so strong. How can I possibly compete with them?
Either that, or they're just so busy making the buns, or whatever it is.
Yes, because they are a small business.
About what the brand means, right?
They don't really think about it. In particular, what is the unique selling proposition? And how do they want to position themselves in the marketplace? And what are the emotional attributes that they want people to associate with their brand?
So, do you work with a lot of local people then? Does small business mean local?
No, not at all.
Okay.
I've had a couple of great telephone conversations with some potential clients in the United States who are looking to expand in the Canadian marketplace.
Okay.
They recognize the need that if they want, that like any foreign business as well, that if you want to broaden your market exposure, you have to start to enter into the new markets, and just can't rely on the current market wherever they are.
Right.
And they have to think differently because they need to understand that market. And I think a lot of times, there have been examples from American firms coming to Canada, but also vice versa, where just by not understanding the market, the companies have made some serious.
Well, absolutely. We try to portray. Let us, first off, give you a marketing perspective of how successful do you feel you'll be in this marketplace. Recognizing the fact is that the competition you're facing, currently in the city or the state where you are in the United States or across the world, is going to be totally different than the competition you're going to face here in Canada.
So do you focus mostly with the Canadian sector, though, or do you deal with clients in the States as well?
I can work with clients from the United States. I can work with clients across the world. But primarily right now, our target is really trying to help local entrepreneurs, let's say within Ontario or across Canada.
Okay.
So let's talk about So actually, you mentioned the USP, the unique selling proposition.
Yes.
Which is important for any company to have and a big part of their whole brand strategy.
Very much so.
So let's talk about, if we can, the USP for GR marketing strategists.
Well, first and foremost, actually, we are the first Canadian internally operated small marketing service that is dedicated to the food and beverage sector. And so primarily what differentiates as well is the fact is that as part of our marketing plan, we will also help you put together a sales plan and help connect you with agents and distributors that will represent your products across the marketplace in Canada.
Okay, so that really gives you an edge.
Very much so.
Especially because of your expertise in that area, your experience in that sector, you know the people
I know the players,
to.
I've got the contacts within that industry, and so if you're really looking to make hay into, let's say, the grocery channels, you want to start working with the Loblaws, with the Walmarts, the Sobeys of the world. That you're more than primary. You're like a Canadian broker that will represent you in the Canadian marketplace, and we will help you align your brand with one of those brokers.
Because it is really tough to get into those stores, isn't it? Like if you want to get to be in an aisle, and let's say you're coming up with a cereal or chips. Let's say potato chips.
Yes.
I mean, to get your chips beside Hostess or Lay's or...
Well, yeah.
Can you do that?
Right, again, exactly. But you hit it right on the head that it is difficult. But again, it's what is your unique selling point? Because shelf space in the Loblaws these days or the Walmarts are so limited, and so that if you want that shelf space, who do you intend to replace on that shelf?
That's a good point.
And if you don't have your unique selling point, then how do you anticipate being able to, to knock out, for example, you're not going to knock out a private label brand. You're not going to knock out Hostess Frito-Lay. They're just, with Pepsi. They're conglomerates. They do their job very, very well. And Procter & Gamble as well. That's So if you want to target the smaller people that are in there right now, what is your unique selling point, and why should the Loblaws or the Walmart list you over that current brand?
Okay, Richard, and I've heard that people actually pay.
They have to pay, yes, they have to. And depending upon the sector, yes, you're going to be, if you want to go national, if you're talking, for example, potato chips, you probably could be talking $500,000 to $750,000
to get shelf space. You're paying for shelf space.
Correct.
So the grocery chain is actually making money on the shelf space as well as selling.
That's right.
To the consumers.
What also many firms in the United States also don't realize is also that if you then don't have a marketing plan in place to bring exposure of your brand to the consumer, that these retail channels will also charge you to delist your product.
What does that mean?
Well,
delist your project?
If they, for example, after 6 or 9 months or a year, they just don't feel that
it's selling?
Space is generating sales, they'll now charge you to take your product off the shelf.
Wow.
Like that's got to be, and it's getting more, that whole aspect of the industry's got to be getting more difficult all the time. More and more products, more and more companies. and more products from each company, and they're all vying for shelf space.
The same
They're all buying
space,
for
yeah.
shelf space, and recognizing also the fact is that also the market as well is getting smaller and smaller, with the fact that Sobeys wants to purchase Canada Safeway. So now, if you really want to do business, and you want to do business with the big boys, you're now talking Loblaws, Walmart, Sobeys are now the big three.
Whatever happened to Dominion?
Metro.
Are they gone?
Metro.
Well, Metro's still around, but the Metro's more prominence is more, in the, Metro is more prominence is in Quebec. So, but
okay.
the big three again are Sobeys,
which we never even heard of.
No, correct. That's
until
right.
a few years ago, right?
I'm from Atlantic, Canada.
Okay.
Correct.
So this really emphasizes the need to have a marketing strategy then, because the competition is so intense.
Yeah, so you mentioned, so is that consolidation of the retail environment in the food sector in Canada? Like, did there used to be more players?
Oh, well, actually, Canada Safeway was by themselves. Dominion was all by themselves, which was with AMP.
Oh, so, my God, AMP.
The Dominion AMP got bought out by Sobeys. Canada Safeway is now gone. You also had Loeb banners in Provigo, Loeb here in Ontario, Provigo in Quebec. They got bought out by Loblaws. So the market is just getting smaller and smaller all the time.
And who would have thunk? And thunk is a word, Anne Marie.
But who would have thunk? But you're using it wrong.
There's no comma with S. But who would have thunk that Walmart would become a grocery store, and that Loblaws would have fashion, like the Joe collection or whatever?
Well, and now you have to also consider, Target. Target is now coming into the Canadian marketplace.
Yes, I haven't seen them yet.
So, how well is Target going to be able to compete with the Walmarts and with the Loblaws now in Canada?
And these are Target's American too, and Walmart's American. Loblaws is Canadian.
That's right.
Okay, so is this eventually going to be taken over by all American companies? Like, will Loblaws fall by the wayside as well, do you think?
No, Loblaws is still the number one grocery channel in Canada.
Okay.
They are with the Galen Weston family owning Loblaws. They've got a great strong brand across the marketplace. No, I don't see that at all.
And they own No Frills, right?
They own No Frills. They own Zare and Fortino's.
And who owns Food Basics?
Food Basics, that is now actually part of the Sobeys family.
Okay. Did you know that?
No, I'm learning a lot of stuff here, and I don't know if this is the way you wanted the conversation to go. But this is
not at all.
I've heard a lot of people complaining about all the consolidation and that consumers are seeing higher prices as a result.
Well, let's hope that the prices will start to come down a bit again. I hope so.
Yeah. But back to what you are here for, and I do apologize because we have gone off. But I do think it's really relevant because it does emphasize the need. Because talking about this, if I had a food and beverage product, I would be really overwhelmed and really discouraged. Honestly, I would be very discouraged and thinking, how can I possibly compete? And certainly you can't compete on your own. You can't, some little Joe Blow, go into, Loblaws headquarters and say, hey, I have a great product. I have a bag of chips that I want to sell.
That's how Miss Vicky started.
Yes, right? Exactly. That's right. They got bought out by Hostess Frito-Lay.
But she made a lot of money, probably, selling it out.
The same with the refrigerated salad dressing with
Renee's.
Right. Actually, Renee, they did a fantastic job of differentiating themselves, away from the craft of the shelf-stable salad dressings.
Now, was that a Canadian product originally?
That is a Canadian family.
Because I used to buy that Renee's all the time.
Until the
big boys bought them, right?
They got bought out by Heinz.
So, Richard, so did they have a marketing strategy? The Renee's?
Well, they did. They actually they went both for they had their branded format.
Okay.
But they also had the private label format. And they believed that, there was going to be a need for refrigerated salad dressing. And they were very successful with it.
So this is what you do. You actually help to differentiate that product. You actually help to drill down.
help put together a marketing plan that research shows that many small businesses don't see the need for a marketing plan. They think it's only required for the big boys. And I look at it as a marketing plan is like taking a walk in the woods. You need direction. And a marketing plan gives you the direction to be proactive, to stay relevant in the marketplace, and to keep yourself one step ahead of the competition.
Well, also too, if you're a small business but you want to compete with the big boys, you got to play like the big boys, right?
Not necessarily, because that social media has really leveled the playing field, and that many people are now actually taking their traditional advertising dollars away and putting it into the social media side of the equation. So that has leveled the playing field. But I see twofold. First and foremost is that smaller businesses can react to market changes faster than a big boy.
So there's an advantage.
And secondly, I also feel that smaller businesses are more innovative than the big boys. So the fact is that there's two advantages that they do have in the marketplace to succeed against whoever their competitors are.
So how big a part does social media play in your strategy?
For most of my part, for our clients now, social media is a very key component. Absolutely, that depending upon exactly who your target audience is and exactly where they are on the social media site, that it's now a necessity that you have to have a presence on social media.
You know, that is one thing I find that big guys are it's not that welcoming. I am much more welcoming when I see smaller guys on social media than when I see like a Loblaws try to invite me to something, or I like the smaller guys because it feels more personal.
Well, and that's another key advantage, in particular when it comes to the retail sector. What you're seeing in the retail sector is the big box stores are getting smaller and smaller because they want that personal attention.
Okay.
And that's exactly what the smaller retailers can offer. And it shows that they're either going to that or they're going to online now to make their purchase.
Wow. Okay,
so you can be just as successful operating a food business by just operating online than to going in onto and having a presence on the shelf.
Okay, so did you have a question, Hugh?
No.
Okay, so do you also work with restaurants too, Richard, like local restaurants and things like that, or restaurant chains?
We can, if necessity, very much so.
Okay.
Again, that.
Okay.
Again, there's probably, there's lots of great restaurants out in Toronto and Mississauga where I live, and when I go by them daily, I always question, wonder what their unique selling point is. Mm-hmm. How is it there, what makes them different compared to, just touring downtown Toronto and seeing all the great restaurants around Bathurst Street and College.
Yeah.
I always look and say, boy, do you look great, but what differentiates you from who your competitor is? And you got competitors just down the street or right next door to you.
Wow.
So that's an interesting point, because I remember, because I took business at university, Richard, and that USP was one of the, that was an answer. I don't know if it was a multiple choice, but it was, that was a concept that we learned at business school, right?
Yes.
And, unique selling point, right?
Yeah, the unique selling proposition. And
okay.
I think when you get out of school and you kind of just get busy doing your stuff, you forget about how important that is, and
you forget about that, but you also forget about that. Who is your target audience? Don't try to be one to all. You can't be. Coca-Cola and Pepsi aren't, because they both have their different strategies. They're going after different segments of the marketplace, the consumer marketplace, and you have to be the same. You cannot expect, that every consumer is going to want your product and is going to wish to purchase your product.
Wow.
So I'm thinking, because we talked about two great examples, right? The Miss Vicky's.
Yes.
And Renee's.
Very much so.
Both Canadian success stories, right?
Absolutely. They were.
I don't know what it is, but I don't even know if they have Miss Vicky's in the U.S.
I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure.
But I'm sure they've got a huge market share in this country because everybody loves Miss Vicky's.
You know what? I don't buy them anymore. I used to. And maybe I didn't know they were bought out, but I don't buy them because the prices shot way up, and I thought, wow, they probably did when they got bought out.
Well, maybe.
Potato chips, wow. I mean, and plus there's a lot of really good ones out there now that are just like them.
They all copied Miss Vicky's.
Yeah, I think so. I think they did, and they're just as good.
But the thing is, I'm just thinking. How many people? Probably everybody. I know I have. Either they got a good recipe or they got a certain kind of food product that they make at home, and they probably at one point or another thought to themselves, gee, I wonder if I could take this and make it a commercial product, a success story like Miss Vicky's or like Renee's or something like that. And it just occurs to me now that for somebody that's actually serious about doing that coming and talking to you about that might be a great first step, because they may not have any clue about the marketplace.
Well, and there's another great, is Give and Go Prepared Foods. They're another small little.
What are they called?
Give and Go Prepared Foods. They do those great bite-sized brownies. Those little tasty ones where you
like 2 bites or something. Those 2-bite brownies and things.
Yes, exactly. And the fact is, you think
everybody loves those.
The next, you're eating the full bag within an hour because they're so good, they're so tasty.
And then your day's ruined.
Exactly, literally.
I know mine is.
But again, no one has really been able to replicate their success in the bakery industry, for those 2-bite brownies.
Wow, amazing. So, is it also a good idea to come to you? Even to Hugh's point, if I have an idea, even before I go ahead and launch it as a business, would it be a good idea to come to you and say, okay, wait a second, this is what I have. I'm not even sure if it's worth my time, effort.
Absolutely, because that's more about a pre-market perspective and recognizing that what is the size of your category, what are the trends within the category, but again, who is your competitor, and how do you again going to differentiate yourselves from the competitor and within 3 to 5 years, how successful do we feel that you will be in the marketplace? And if you are a food product or a consumer household product, where is it that you would like to be listed? Do you want to just stay with the independent mums and pops grocery stores, or do you want to have a greater presence into the retail sector? And from there, do you also want to grow into the food service sector?
Wow, that's a lot to think about when you're just like coming up with a potato chip.
Well, I mean, and that's the thing. You might come up with a great product, but if you don't really have any idea how to approach the marketplace, then you're going to be in big trouble. Now, Richard, I understand you have a multi-step process when you're working with clients.
Yes.
Can we talk about that a little bit?
Certainly. Well, again, the first one is a market perspective, as we talked about, and let's just give you an overview of the market, give you a size of what the category is, and really who's your competition based upon who's your target audience, and how do we feel that you are going to stand out against these people, and how successful do we feel you'll be within 3 to 5 years.
So that's the overview.
That's the overview. Then we will go into a brand audit and more give you a branding perspective, what is your unique selling proposition, what is your promise, what is your personality, and how do you want to position yourselves in the markewise?
Okay. And then based on that, you actually come up with...
The marketing plan then takes over from the brand. So where the brand audit is left, the marketing plan takes over from there. And then we take that information and then we put together a marketing plan that encompasses both a push and pull strategy. And what we mean by a push and pull strategy is that the push strategy is actually getting your product listed with a retailer.
Okay.
And then the pull strategy then gain your consumers actually now take that product off the shelf.
Okay, so pull from the consumer.
Exactly.
Okay, got it. Okay.
And then finally the part 4, which is actually an inaugural part of the marketing plan, is actually the distribution plan, and putting together a sales presentation that we will present to brokers and distributors across the country.
Wow.
And that help you then working with them to put together the presentation for the account base that you wish to target.
So you do the full cycle.
We do for the full cycle, and then where necessary, that for sure that we have a alliance of strategic businesses that we work with that will execute more about the social media the social media component.
Wow.
So let's talk about the social media component, Richard, because it's really a new phenomenon.
Yes.
I mean, for guys like us, it's relatively new. I remember the time before social media. And, of course, it's also a moving target. It's a constantly evolving
Constantly
environment.
evolving, and it's always... And, again, email is best, email marketing is the best way to get your message known. Social media is the best way to get your, to share your message. And yet only 10% of small businesses use email marketing.
Wow. So if I came to you and we talked about the branding and all of that stuff, how long would it be from our very first discussion to having the presentation for the distributors? Like that must be, I would think that'd be 6 months?
No, 3 to 4 months. But to actually then get a listing with a retailer, you're talking another 6 months because their schedules are so busy, everyone wants in. And so it takes a lot of time to actually, and then you then have to, and then even if you then get the listing with the head office in Loblaws, your brokers and yourself have to go bound to each individual store and talk to the manager to get them to get them to bring it in to put it on the shelf.
So honestly, in your experience, what are the chances of getting on the shelf? Like nowadays, what are the chances of a Miss Vicky's getting on the shelf or Renee's?
I think very good still. As
that's amazing.
As long as I think you still get that unique difference that would stand you out against who the competition is.
So there's still some space.
Well, especially the fact is that there's so much, the natural health product sector is such an emerging sector.
You just read my mind again. There's 3 times now, Richard, you've read my mind during this.
Natural health products, organic is starting to see a great rise. And even those that have lactose intolerant, have an allergy to a wheat allergy, that also is such an emerging market.
You know what I found is really, really heavy? The wheat market, because the gluten-free thing is big now, right?
That is very big. Gluten-free is very big right now. And even, for example, I, just working in the shampoo industry, like all natural shampoos, in terms of understanding, having worked with a small client in that sector, that knowing what chemicals were in current regular shampoos to how beneficial it is to actually purchase all natural shampoos.
Wow. The other market I find too is the milk section. There's so much, it used to be just like cow's milk, right? Then I guess went to goat milk, and now you have like soy milk and almond milk and rice milk and oatmeal milk.
That's right.
And flax and hemp seed milk. Oh my God! I mean, it's just phenomenal. And actually, I find that it's sometimes too much.
That's not going to improve.
Well, a lot of it, I think, again, though, but it's like how well have a lot of those firms actually done to actually bring their message out to the marketplace.
Well, see, that's the thing. I remember when soy milk first started, because that's a big staple of mine when I went vegan. And so first, there was one kind of soy milk, and now there's a ton. And now, I guess and actually, this would be a good question. Is it, when a product comes out on the market and then becomes, I guess, penetrates so that everybody wants it? Because now I see that, Loblaws has their own PC soy milk, and Dominions or whatever, Sobeys, they'll have their own, version of soy milk. So does that mean that it's actually there to stay now? When you see something like that?
Potentially, yes, very much so. And but again, that's a strategy that some small businesses can utilize, which is if you want to capitalize on these emerging trends, be the manufacturer for the private label format of the Loblaws, of the Sobeys, of the Walmart. You can make a great business by being that hidden brand behind the private label brand of the Loblaws. Because the Loblaws doesn't manufacture, they actually have a third party that does it for you, and so you avoid all the listing fees.
Oh, isn't that smart?
You avoid all the listing fees if you are able, very successfully be able to, but you have to be able to, work with reduced margins because they want to see, that they expect to be able to make a lot more money on their private label format than on a comparable branded format.
But yet you're just doing one transaction.
Exactly.
Right?
Absolutely. You
big volume.
Yes, right, absolutely. You don't have all the inside programs that you have to worry about.
Yeah.
It's net right out.
So your overhead would be less anyway, so you could have less margins.
Very much so. Absolutely.
Right? Wow. So that's a whole nother area I hadn't even thought of.
See?
Wow. That's
Private label is a very attractive option for those businesses who feel that maybe right now they don't have the capital to compete in the branded format, so they will go to the private label side of the equation.
See, so that's just another thing that maybe people haven't thought about, that they will benefit from Richard's expertise. Now, Richard,
Wow.
I just want to ask you briefly, because you're targeting this sector. That's your,
Yes.
these are the people you're going after.
Yes.
And you've got experience in that sector. What's your background in that sector, just to give people a
Well,
sense of your...
primarily my biggest one was working with, I had great 10 years of success with Carlton Cards, the leading social express and industry leader, but then I also had a couple of years fun working with being the hot sauce king with Tabasco brand pepper sauce, and then working also with Rich Products, the frozen food manufacturer out of Buffalo, New York.
Oh, yeah.
wow. Carlton Cards. Wow, I used to work in one of those stores as one of my first jobs.
Now, Richard, do you also, if I'm looking at your website here, do you get into the actual distribution side of things as well?
We will align you with agents and distributors. I'm not a distributor myself.
Okay.
No, I'm not a distributor myself, but we will, work with you to help you, get your product, working with distributors and/or brokers.
And you help to create the presentation,
We
too.
will help you also put together a presentation, and also there is a difference between a broker and a distributor, and what is best for your brand.
Right.
We'll help you determine what is the best option for your brand.
Okay, so we've already talked about, maybe somebody who's got an idea to get into this business like Miss Vicky did or like Renee did, but can you give us a pretty good description about some of the other potential clients that you work well with?
Well, I'm actually working right now with the Vic Johnson Community Center. They're the local hockey arena in Streetsville, in Mississauga, and I'm working to help try to put together a marketing plan that will generate more business for their confectionery food stand in the actual arena.
Wow, well, how would you even go about doing that, I guess?
Well, that's actually we did a survey on SurveyMonkey. And what resonated twofold with us through that was that, first and foremost, that the actual confectionery stand is named after the wife of a long-time resident that had a big involvement with the Vic Johnson Community Center.
Okay.
And many people don't understand how the name came from. And many people also do not realize that Vic Johnson Community Center is independently operated from the city of Mississauga, and they receive no financial support from the government. So every dollar that you give,
yeah,
regardless be a cup of coffee, a bag of potato chips, all goes back into the programs, which is to help Streetsville Minor Hockey.
So is that what differentiates it then? It's that whole local, true blue local community?
Well, part of the foremost is the convenience of it, absolutely. But and secondly is that what we want to do is build the bigger brand for Marion's Kitchen, so people have a better understanding as to who Marion's Kitchen is and as to why it is so important that instead of buying your cup of coffee at Tim Hortons on the way to your son's or daughter's hockey game,
buy here instead.
Take it 30 seconds, take 2 minutes out and buy it actually within the from the actual arena. Recognize that all that money stays within the arena.
Plus, it's more convenient. Actually, you don't have to drive to Tim Hortons and wait in line and all that stuff.
And no spillage on the way.
Yeah.
And you don't ruin your clothes.
And the other thing too is when you are going to an arena, you usually have a whole bunch of bags and equipment and stuff like that. And to carry a cup of that, there goes one hand, right?
Yeah.
So you don't have to worry about that because you can drop all your bags off and then just go
But
in
also,
the arena and get it.
we're just trying to do a little work with Velvet Sunrise, which is a local coffee beaner.
Oh.
So they actually they have their coffee beans give the greater taste and freshness that who their competitors are.
So there's always something, and of course the natural health sector is huge and growing, and I
The
would
natural
think that
product
there's
health sector is growing, and it's it's growing by leaps and bounds, and there's such a need for it, and actually a study I found actually on the internet from 2010 showed, I think, that there's 85 to 90% of all consumers want to buy natural health products, but yet only 22% buy because there's a disconnect.
Yeah.
From the wanting to
Isn't that
buy
interesting?
to actually buying it, from understand the benefits, where is it located, what all those different elements all play a role in why people are not purchasing more natural health products.
And to your point, one of the reasons I think why they might not be is because those natural health products don't have a great marketing campaign, so they're not out there competing with the big guys too, because you have to go to very special stores and that you have to search it out.
You do, and you do, and there's still a role that they can play now with the national banners.
Wow.
I would think that that is what you've just mentioned, Sandra, is a big opportunity for you, Richard, because a lot of these companies really haven't taken the steps that they probably should, that you provide for them to do.
And we'd be more than happy to help them, and because again, that's I come from the small business sector. I've always had the pleasure of working within the small business sector, so that's why I continue to work with the small business owners today.
And let's face it, that's very different than the big guys, because it's a very different kind of feel in a smaller office or a smaller company.
It is a different type of field. It's that you can be more proactive to the market changes than let's say a bigger conglomerate in that sector can be. And again, I do believe that small businesses have a more creative mindset than that of the bigger companies as well.
Okay, so Richard, if people want to get in touch with you and take that next step to
yes, you can reach us at www.grmarketingstrategist.com, or my cell phone number is 416-768-7648.
Okay, so grmarketingstrategists.com. Plural.com, right?
Yes.
No apostrophe, right?
No apostrophe.
Okay, Richard, thanks for coming back.
Well, thank you again for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And good luck on the new, I guess, the rebirth, right?
Thank you.
Rebranding.
Rebranding.
Yes. Okay, so all right, so we're going to take another little break now. Actually, I got a little video here on Bitcoin.
What's that?
You don't know what Bitcoin is? Well, you're going to find out right now.
Oh, okay.
And we're going to come back with Treela Smith as Liquid Lunch continues.
Yay.
If you've been following whistleblower or hacker-related news, you may have noticed that some group websites have started to accept donation in a form called Bitcoin. Now, what exactly is Bitcoin? Well, in this tutorial, I'm going to explain what Bitcoin is, and I'm going to demonstrate how to start using it yourself. So what is Bitcoin? Bitcoin is a digital currency powered by a peer-to-peer network used primarily for internet transactions. So what are the benefits of using Bitcoin? Well, it's as anonymous as cash, it's impossible to charge back, unlike PayPal or a credit card, it's not controlled by a central government, and it is impossible to inflate due to mass printing. So let's get started using Bitcoin. Well, the first thing we have to do is get a wallet, which is a program that is used to store our Bitcoin. There are desktop wallets available, and there are online wallets that are available. The most popular desktop wallet is available at bitcoin.org. And just go ahead and download the client for your operating system. So once the client is installed, go ahead and go to Start, All Programs, and Bitcoin, and launch the Bitcoin software. And once you launch it, you will see the Bitcoin program. Go ahead and note your Bitcoin address, as you will need that for use in your Bitcoin transactions. Now, if you would prefer an online wallet, go ahead and open up your web browser. and go ahead and navigate to mybitcoin.com and go ahead and sign up for this website. And once you sign up, you will see your payment address on your front page. And go ahead and note that. So once you have Bitcoins, we're going to go ahead and show you how to get some free coins. To that, go ahead and proceed to open up a web browser and go ahead and navigate to freebitcoins.appspot.com, or also known as the Bitcoin faucet. This website will provide 0.0001 Bitcoins to any user who just clicks on Get Some Now. Well, I've already grabbed some, but if you go ahead and click it, you will see a prompt to put in your Bitcoin address. Now there is one more way that I've seen to get free coins, and this is possible if you open up a web browser and navigate to dragons.tl and download this game. This is a casino style game that, even though I do not recommend gambling, it will provide you free Bitcoins by going ahead to the 24 statues in the game and examining them and receiving free BTM. So here's a clip of me just walking around in the game and clicking on the statue and clicking search for a gift. And 1 BTM is equivalent to 0.001 BTC, or Bitcoins. So once you have 0.010 BTM, you'll be able to withdraw the coins. So go ahead and copy your Bitcoin address from your wallet and head over to Utility, and then click Withdraw Bitcoins. And then in here, just go ahead and Control-V or paste in your Bitcoin address and type in your amount that you want to withdraw. And then go ahead and click on OK. And then all you have to do is wait about 10 minutes to a half an hour or so for the transaction to be confirmed, and you should see the Bitcoins added to your account. And it should look something like this. Those are two ways to get free Bitcoins, but currently the most popular way of getting coins is buying them through a currency exchange. And because PayPal doesn't allow this kind of stuff, we need to use a different middleman to bring our currencies into the exchange. And the most popular one used is Dwolla. So go ahead and navigate to dwolla.com and sign up for an account. And once you go ahead and log in, we are going to insert our bank account information to set up a wire transfer. So go ahead and click on Add Bank Account and add in your banking information. Now please note for this tutorial that I've put in a lot of bogus information here for my own security purposes. So once you set up wire transfers and it's verified, go ahead and open up a web browser and navigate to mountgox.com, and currently this is the most popular Bitcoin exchange. So go ahead and sign up for this website. And then proceed to click Add Funds. And once we're here, go ahead and open Dwolla as a new tab. And then go ahead and log in. And once you log in, we're going to proceed to add some funds. And you can do this by putting in the account number and the message that Mt. Gox provides into the details in here. And go ahead and type in the amount that you want to add to the exchange. And under source, be sure to choose your bank account and payment type as services and assume the costs. And then again, for details, use the following prompt that Mt. Gox gives you on the page. So once you have added some funds to the exchange, go ahead and click on trade. And once you click on trade, go ahead to choose the amount of coins that you want to buy and click on buy coins. And once you have bought the coins, go ahead and withdraw them to your Bitcoin wallet using your Bitcoin address. Okay, so there's one more way of getting coins, and that's through Bitcoin mining. Bitcoin mining is the process of generating blocks used to record Bitcoin transactions over
Okay, there's a little bit of information about Bitcoin.
I need to get more information on that.
You do?
Interesting.
Wait, somebody's calling right now. Should we get this?
Sure.
They're on the air.
Sure.
Okay, wait. Don't do anything. Okay, Anne-Marie's getting it. Okay, that was Bitcoin. Okay, we'll talk about that later because our guest here is Treela Smith. Treela's joining us.
Hello.
Right, Treela?
Yes.
Hi.
Hi.
All right. Okay, go.
Go with what?
Start talking. Come on, it's the show. Come on.
Okay, I know this is the show.
We're on now.
I know we're on now.
So,
okay, Treela, make sure your hair is away from your mic. Can you hear her, guys? Sounds
let us
good.
know if there's a problem. Did her hair make a noise on her mic? A little bit? Okay.
So you won't do that?
It's better.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, you got it out of the way.
So Treela, you can't move? No, I'm just kidding.
Can't move at all. You still. Okay.
Treela, I mean, for asking Treela not to move is like asking you to dance. Oh, wow. If people could have seen your face.
Whose face?
Maybe they
Yours.
I'm trying to do 3 things at once, including host an internet television show.
And answer the phone at the same time and chew gum.
And manage the staff over here.
And talk about commas and S's. I mean, and apostrophes.
Exactly.
And S's.
It's for that kind of a show today.
It's been a really weird show. That's why we have Treela.
Yeah, for apostrophes and S's.
Okay, Treela, go.
To go is like.
I know, I'm not being.
Okay, okay.
It's like that question, tell me about yourself. And you're like.
Where do I start?
Okay, I was born at this time at this hospital, and my mother was.
Which hospital?
Was. Actually,
did you get switched at birth?
Hospital. No.
Because one of our other guests today did.
No, my aunt wishes that we got switched at birth.
Aunt? You said aunt.
I said aunt.
See, I say aunt.
I say aunt.
My aunt.
Okay. Now aunt is.
My mom is British.
I was gonna say yes. Okay. That explains it.
My aunt.
My aunt.
Yeah. Your mom was born in Britain.
Yes.
Okay.
But you were born where?
In Toronto Doctors Hospital.
Oh.
Well, let's get specific now.
Well, I can give you time and date, but
really?
That's a little bit too
what
much.
Sign are you?
My sun sign is Taurus.
Yeah.
And my moon sign is Leo.
Okay.
So she knows all kinds of stuff about this, so be careful what you ask.
What's your ascendant, though? Do you know?
Taurus.
Is it? You're a double Taurus?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so like you guys are talking. I know Hugh. Okay, Hugh. I'm going to ask you. What does that mean?
Taurus?
Yeah.
I know it. I know one thing. Earth.
It means stubborn.
Yeah.
We prefer to use the word determined.
Oh, you are too then.
Focused.
Okay,
Right?
so you are too.
I'm not a Taurus, no.
You're not?
No,
Okay.
but
Basically, it's easy with the zodiacs. Just whatever the characteristic of the animal or symbol is, that's how they are.
That's right.
So it's easy to figure.
Okay, well that's not fair because I'm a crab.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't do this and then kind of
she does.
side shuffle.
Yeah, she does.
And then kind of.
And then she goes in for the kill. And then goes in for the kill, right? Gets the prize.
I know that when I stick my claws in something, you don't let go, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, what sign am I then?
I don't
Treela.
know.
Come on.
Well, what's your
Are you
birthday?
big in
You're a
astrology?
Virgo.
I'm big in my astrology.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So Treela is an amazing massage therapist.
So I've
She
heard-
has amazing hands.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, now I want a massage.
Now you want to
See, you know, Hugh, we could do a sample with you on the table. Not to put you on the spot or anything.
Well, maybe we'll get to that, but let's play it by ear. So, but you do a lot more than massage, right?
I do a lot
Treela?
more than massage.
Tell us what you do.
Okay, aside from massage therapy, I do dream interpretation. I do, I've just started to channel where I'm aware of it. So
Who's the entity
I
that you're
can actually
channeling?
channel Gaia, which is Mother Earth. And I've kind of been pushed to contact people on the other side. So there's been some people who have said, hey, can you contact this person for me? Or can you contact this person? Like, I don't know. So I'm being kind of...
So you're talking about like medium, being a medium, you mean? Somebody
Sort
who's
of,
passed
yeah.
away,
Yeah.
transitioned?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's sort of what's revealing as one of my gifts now.
So you're contacting family members for them?
Yeah, I haven't actually done it yet because I'm a little bit nervous.
Okay.
I'm not sure if I'm actually going to.
Okay,
So,
okay.
And yeah, but I have to dive in and just do it.
So, okay, but right now you're channeling Gaia.
No, right now I'm Treela.
I know, I mean... you know,
But even Treela is a name like
You'll know
Gaia.
when I start channeling Gaia.
Can you
because
channel Gaia right now?
I can, but it takes a while. I kind of have to be triggered. And you'll know because my voice cadence will change.
But you're aware of it when you're doing it?
Oh, yeah.
You're not one of these...
No, I don't like one of these type things. No. I don't
No?
do that.
And anybody else besides Gaia that you channel?
No. Sometimes I'll have conversations with like angels and stuff. Like
Fairies?
fairies, not so much. They don't talk to me. They just cause
trouble.
Yeah. Around me anyway.
Okay,
and
now
my cat.
Treela.
Yes. Hugh.
Okay.
Yes.
I feel comfortable enough with you to ask you this question.
Okay, then
Okay.
I might feel comfortable enough to answer the question.
All right, because some people say that all this channeling stuff is like angels or whatever, but
Yeah.
they're saying they may be fallen angels and bad
I
entities
understand what
and
you're
stuff
saying
like that.
completely, yes.
So what do you have to say about that? Do you know what you're dabbling with?
Yes. Yes. I am always protected.
How-
I say very, very often that I'm divinely protected. And I have my angels and guides with me always. At the same time, with regards to channeling something from, like some people channel Metatron, and some people channel.
Yes, I've heard many people do.
And then some people channel Archangel Michael.
Many.
And there's different.
How about Cryon of Electric Service?
Do you know who Cryon is?
No, I have no clue, but I'm sure somebody does.
Oh no, a few people do.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, Treela, what do you think about Metatron and Archangel Michael? What do you think of all these people? Because I'm thinking there's just too many people channeling all these same people, same entities.
It's an energy, right?
Okay.
So in my perspective, I've done some because I love religions as in plural. So I like dabbling into multi faiths.
Okay.
So one of the things I sort of pieced together when I was learning about Islam is that there's 99 names of Allah.
Wow.
And there's an actual song, an Arabic song, I think it's Arabic, forgive me if it's not in Arabic, that actually speaks and sings the 99 names of Allah. I was given a chart of each one and they all represent something. And I'm like, how is this different than the Catholic faith of Archangel Michael, who protects us, or Archangel Shamuel, who helps us find things, or, our twin flame per se, or Archangel Ariel, who helps us manifest money right off the spot. There's really no difference. It's just
the way we label it.
Yeah. So the way I look at it, it's like it's all one energy and kind of like almost like an organization. You have like the president, and then you have like all the districts of what they and the departments of what they do. So the angels are like that.
So to Hugh's point, how do you know you can trust the channels that are channeling them? Because they could be lower energies, couldn't they?
They could be. You kind of have to know yourself first, to know who you are, to know where you're coming from, before you can actually even open up to these energies. Once you do, you must go by feel. If you don't feel if it's good, helpful, then it probably isn't, and then you don't share. A very easy way is when you're open to these things, often the impressions, voices, or whatever comes at the center of your head.
Okay.
As opposed to any side. And it's your voice that speaks in your mind, but you know it's not you.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's, yeah.
So it comes through the center of your head.
Yes, like the crown chakra.
Wow. Okay, so that's interesting to know. So the next time you're channeling, see if it's coming through the center of your hat.
Well, the
into your head.
Offers interference.
That's why I wear it.
See, there you go.
Ah, so there's a method to your madness.
Or a madness to my method.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. I think that might be more appropriate. Wow. Okay. So, do you channel for people or any? So, okay, I guess you don't because you're doing Gaia right now, right? You're channeling Gaia. So, what are you?
Not right now.
Well, not right now. Okay. I mean, I don't mean specifically in this moment, but
yes.
I mean, when you do get messages, does she just contact you without, like, you could be doing the dishes or something, or?
Usually I'm talking to somebody.
Okay.
And I'm having a conversation with somebody, and Gaia's energy is very, as you would assume, very maternal. But she's either gentle or tough, depending on what you need.
Tough love.
Oh.
From Mother Gaia.
Gaia is no nonsense.
Well, that's very much like you, actually.
It is, but it comes across more gentle.
Than you?
Than me.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I would be like, listen! and Gaia would be like, why aren't you listening? So, yeah.
Okay, maybe she's teaching you to be a little more gentle?
Probably.
So what does Gaia think about things? No, wait a sec. Like, first of all, who is Gaia? Okay, because I'm assuming it is the personality of the planet Earth.
Yes.
Right?
The sentient being, correct?
The female spirit of
Yes.
this female planet Earth.
Yes.
But I'm just assuming that.
Gaia is the mother of all of Earth. From what I understand, and please forgive me, Greek legend has it that Gaia and one of the planets, and I don't want to say the wrong one, but you can research it and find out, created Earth. That's mythology.
Could I say sun?
It wasn't the sun. It's like Jupiter or Saturn or something like that. I don't know which one is Greek mythology. And that's a story. I mean, none of us were here to say whether or not, because it is what it is. So Gaia took it upon herself to be responsible for nurturing and nourishing everything and everyone on this planet. It is the, not so much the collective consciousness as it is the ideal consciousness of this planet. So that's where I would say that Eden would be. So the idea of Eden, of paradise,
heaven,
of balance, of restoration. That's Gaia.
So that's interesting. So not so much the collective consciousness, the ideal consciousness.
Yeah.
See, that's interesting. Wow. Okay.
Because the collective consciousness, as we all know, is dual. Is polarities, it's dualities. Like you have people dying over here, you have people saving kittens over here. So you have different energies that are co-creating this planet. But the ideal is harmonious. That's neutrality. That's the middle way.
Balance.
And
harmony.
Yeah, this is where, we are all attempting to learn integration of, the shadow self and the higher self in order to balance the ideal, which is Gaia.
So can we talk a little bit about the shadow self and what that means?
Okay.
So what does that mean?
Okay. The shadow self is the side of us we don't like. It's the side of us we won't admit to. It's the side of us that we're often ashamed of because it's perceived as being weaker. It is our anger, it is our sorrow, it is our guilt, our shame.
Is this our ego too, Treela?
Yes, it's all in there.
And isn't it what we project on the people we don't like in our lives? Isn't that really just projecting our shadow?
Sometimes no. It depends on where we are in our own personal evolution. We can be in a place of extreme bliss. For example, if you had the Dalai Lama here, and there was somebody here Dalai Lama didn't like, he's not gonna...
Oh, I don't know, maybe. Depends. If he ate meat that day, maybe.
But no. Energetically, people will know that there's energy here that's not exactly harmonizing. So the shadow self is often the side of us that we really don't want to relate to because we've been told it's wrong. And it's not wrong. It has a purpose. And our shadow self teaches us many things. And because many people say, kill your ego, or, don't be angry, as a light worker, you're not supposed to express negating emotions. Yet, as a human being,
you can't help but have them.
This is our experience. So it's a matter of learning from anger, learning from shame, learning from sorrow, and not so much hiding from it, but diving into it, because on the other side are the lessons.
So, you're making me wonder, is it possible that Gaia too has a shadow self? Yes. Okay.
When things go on this planet that are not in balance or in harmony with things.
Like what?
She gets angry.
Like, let's say, mass killings of people, animals, women, children, and
abuse in any way.
And those who are weak, like men, women, it doesn't matter with gender, but anybody who's been abused, violated, tortured. Gaia has a way of cleansing things. So, for example, like hurricanes and volcanoes and sinkholes.
So, okay. So let me ask then. There's so much going. There's so many revolts happening, uprisings happening right now. In Egypt, it's happening again. I just saw it was happening somewhere else, in China, actually.
Really?
In
Just
China,
today.
yeah. I saw that thousands of people marching against some sort of, I guess, political thing. So, what would Gaia's response be?
Stop.
Stop the uprising or supporting of the uprising?
Stop the reasons for the uprising. And the reasons the reason that people are uprising is they're not happy. They're been treated unfairly. They see an injustice. And Gaia's response would be, the injustices need to stop. The torture needs to stop. The killing just because you want to needs to stop. But in support, it's kind of like it's free will, right? So people will have the choice of what they're going to do. Her response is always that she just wants it to stop.
So, okay, so she has been extraordinarily patient. I mean, she is a saint above saints with everything that we have done to her.
She's the ultimate mother.
She's the okay, so is there a point where she will say, okay, enough?
No.
You don't think so?
No. Or maybe, actually, a movie comes to mind when you said that. What could happen?
Which movie? Exploding Sun.
The Happening.
The Happening.
The Happening.
The Happening.
I don't know that movie.
It's an M. Night Shyamalan movie.
Oh, that guy.
It's one of my favorite movies.
Okay, so we'll have to look that one up.
Okay.
Nicolas Cage in that?
No, that's
Nicolas
with
Cage?
Mark Wahlberg.
Ah, he's a good actor.
Yeah.
Okay. So wait a second. Okay, you didn't answer the question though.
Yes.
We have to finish the question.
So would she have a massive?
Would she ever say, okay, enough already? You guys have had many opportunities.
She's tried.
What happened? When?
Okay, every single virus that is on this planet has been made to inoculate us.
Inoculate us.
Well, no, that's the wrong word. Get rid of us.
Oh.
Yeah.
Even the man-made
Annihilate
ones?
us.
Annihilate. Thank you.
Even the man-made ones?
No. The natural ones that are found, like for example, I believe there was one a couple of decades ago that arose in the Amazon jungle that they then wanted to figure out where it came from, what plant, and it didn't spread that fast, but it came across as a flu.
Yeah.
But then you died quick. So it wasn't like you had a flu symptom.
It wasn't a lot of suffering.
Yeah, so you had flu symptoms for 2 or 3 days, you did the fluids, the sleep, whatever, high vitamin C's, and then you were gone. And I believe that was about 2 decades ago, and people couldn't understand what that was. Well, that was the beginning of the massive tearing down of the Amazon rainforest. And so nature had its defense mechanism up and tried to get rid of the parasite that was removing all the foliage.
Which was mankind?
Which was humanity, yes.
So that's how Mother Gaia views us, eh? A parasite?
Technically we are. We consume, we consume, we consume, we consume, we consume.
We contribute back. We give back.
We give back.
Not
We
as
give back
much.
headaches.
Not as much.
Okay.
Not as much.
So we're really out of
I thought she was
balance.
the ultimate mother.
She is.
Well, we're the ultimate children.
And
That never
sometimes
learn.
children need to be disciplined.
Yeah. Okay. I do want to.
Good
Well, this is
answer.
what you're getting at with this line of questioning. But I wanted to ask you about specifically. For example, the Fukushima and the radiation and all that kind of stuff. Because this stuff doesn't, or even I'm thinking too of the depleted uranium that was dropped all over Iraq that is causing so many problems over there. Like, that stuff takes, I don't know, millions, billions of years to degrade. What?
You're shaking your head.
You're shaking your head.
Chernobyl.
Chernobyl too. Good example.
Yeah, Chernobyl, I just found out, I think late last year, there's greenery growing.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes, and there's animals.
So they thought 100 years before the ground is restored, and it was like, what, 20?
I'm not sure it's restored. I think it's still pretty radioactive in there.
It's still radioactive, but the sign of life is the regeneration, is the transmutation of the negating energy. Gaia is incredibly restorative. She can regenerate no problem.
Even with the radiation? Well, how does that work?
Well, we get radiation from the sun every day. It doesn't affect Gaia.
Well, there's different kinds of radiation. What's happening in Iraq, though, is that the rate of birth defects is through the roof because of the depleted uranium that the Americans dropped
But that
there.
could also be nature's way of saying, stop having so many children. You got 7 billion plus on the planet. Relax for a bit. It could be. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Interesting.
So now, yeah, I mean, I agree with you, and I mean, Gaia can take care of herself, but humanity as a collective as well has to take responsibility for themselves as well, and she will not interfere with the lessons that they need to learn, right?
Yes.
That's the tough love, right?
Yeah, that's where optimal parenting comes in. It's like you raise a child, and then when you know that you've done the best you can, you send them off into the world.
But Treela, she's a single parent.
No, she's not.
Where's her hubby? She's a single parent.
It's Jupiter or Saturn. We're not sure.
Yeah, we're not sure.
We have to look it up.
Yeah, be on Maury Povich DNA testing. Jupiter, you are not the father. Anyway.
But seriously, no. I mean, she has probably the toughest job. I was going to say on the planet, but she is the planet, so that doesn't even kind of suffice. But to your point about the Chernobyl and all of the radiation and all of that stuff, and you said she has tremendous restorative abilities. Does that also, you have to push your hair back, I think, by the way. Okay, so does that also have to do with off-planet energies helping to heal as well, to restore?
Likely. Like there is not just, because we can't have plants with just earth. We need sunlight. We need air, water. We need something external to come down. So.
There.
Okay.
Okay. Yes.
We're good.
We're good.
So there is, I would say, outside help.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, that would make sense to me.
And there's a lot of outside help. In fact, there's a lot of outside help that has come through Earth recently.
Like who?
Argarians?
Children.
You mean from within the Earth you're talking about?
Children. The births now.
The crystal children.
The crystal children, yeah.
And the indigos before.
And the indigos and the rainbow children and star seeds, whatever you want to call it. The children, more and more children are being born with what they say is the 12-strand DNA that we're all attempting to develop within ourselves. And yeah, so there's a lot more energy coming through to help it.
So what's going to happen when we go to 12-strand DNA?
Well, it's going to be awesome.
Treela, what's going to happen though?
What's going to happen?
Yeah.
Do you remember a point in your life when you felt optimal joy? Like when you were so happy and so in love with everything? The fact that the bus was late or somebody cut you off, it's okay, everything's awesome, it doesn't matter. And coffee wasn't the way you had it, but it was okay. One of those days when just everything was wonderful.
No.
Okay, I have. That's basically what's going to happen.
That's what's gonna. Imagine what that would be like.
That's
For
what's gonna
everybody.
happen. For everybody.
Is that really going to happen?
It will. I don't know if we'll be alive to see it, but it will. It's our evolution.
Okay, so yeah, but that'll happen on an individual level,
Yes,
right? Based on
yes.
each person's.
No, well, I see. Okay, so I've been watching these videos lately. I know Anne-Marie's been watching videos too, but I've been seeing this guy. His name's Ian Lungold. Are you familiar with him?
No.
Him and another guy, another scientist from Europe, they actually supposedly figured out the Mayan calendar.
Awesome.
So it's not a question, it's like they figured it out from a scientific point of view.
Okay.
And basically what they're saying, and it kind of correlates with some of the stuff Terence McKenna was talking about,
Okay.
but that everything is accelerating to the point where, like the graph, if you looked at the graph, here I'll use this as where am I? This is the graph. So, from like, the beginning of time, the rate of change is almost flat, right? And then it slowly starts to go up, and then whoop, it goes up.
Right.
Asymptotically on the graph, right?
Yeah.
It goes vertical.
Okay.
And that's where we're supposed to be. That's what the 2012 is supposed to be. Everything goes vertical.
Right.
The rate of change goes through the roof.
Yes.
The level of complexity on all levels goes up. And we know that things are more complex now.
Yeah.
And the rate of change is faster now than ever. Yet we're past that. And so what Terence McKenna called it a singularity, right, where the graph goes vertical. And that seems to me that is what you're talking about. That makes sense that's what that could be, but we're not there yet.
We're not there because people have doubts that what is being said is true. Many people still like the system the way it is because it supports them. They're comfortable. They don't need to do anything, and they like it that way.
So this is all tied into belief systems, correct?
A lot of it is, yes.
Okay. So it's about changing the belief systems.
Yeah. Well, sort of, or the reasons behind the belief systems. So there's a lot of people out there who believe in certain things, and another person might come across and believe in something that opposes. You don't necessarily have to change, as opposed to accept the other person's belief system as valid for them.
Right.
Which is why I like studying different religions, because I'm not Hindi, I'm not Islam, I'm not Christian, but I can see the value in all of them.
Right.
For the people who believe in them so much, where it helps them in their day-to-day life. And that's what I really gravitate towards, because that's diversity. And in accepting the diversity, that's where unity comes from. It's just accepting one another as we are.
Okay. And when do you think that's going to happen?
I don't know. It's a slow and steady process, though. More and more people are realizing that we bleed the same, we cry the same. Most of us are birthed the same.
Wow.
So, I mean, we see different examples of it in the Middle East when we have, Christians and Muslims standing side by side, helping one another. We see that already. We see it when there's a gay pride parade and a church says, it's okay, we love you. We see this. So it's starting.
So you're seeing more and more of that? Is that what you're saying, Treela?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so you're actually encouraged.
Oh, absolutely.
So is there going to be a 2012 watershed event?
Yeah, is there?
And when is that date? Obviously, it's not 2012 anymore. But
or is the police state just going to come down and throw us all in FEMA camps? Treela.
No, that's not going to happen.
Do you know what a FEMA camp is?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It's not going to happen? They've already got the coffins.
Yes, because I want to instill fear in the people who are still in the system. To protect the system.
But we have a plan to turn those coffins into cat shelters, right?
Yes,
Sandra?
we do. That's what we're going to do. They're going to. We're making outdoor cat shelters. See, now I get really excited.
Awesome.
And that's what we're going to do. And then we
use them to build houses too. There's so many.
Well, that's exactly what we were talking about. We thought maybe we could build some cat shelters, and then we can build some bigger ones for people to go beside the cat shelters.
There you go.
and then we could all be one big community.
So then they can watch the cats.
Yeah, and feed the cats, and we could all be friends together.
And clean out their boxes 3 times a day.
Yeah, when we go to that 5th density, will we still need kitty litter?
Yes.
In the beginning.
It will be all biodegradable into like compost, so it's okay.
But wait a second, okay. But then we're going to be moving into consumption free, right? We're going to, we will be able to move to the point where it's not so much a consumption as it will be more of an energy exchange. Right?
Yeah, eventually. Yeah, that's what we're learning now through sun gazing and breatharians.
Yes.
Do you gaze at the sun?
Yes.
Yes, she does.
It's
She's
awesome.
big on that.
Really?
Awesome. Yes.
No, what happened? When you have to do it at the end of the day, though, right?
No,
Or
you do it at the beginning of the day.
Okay.
First
or
hour,
the
last
end.
hour.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then what happens to you when you gaze at the sun?
Many things.
Like what?
First, it restores your sleep-wake cycles. Second, it restores your mood.
Really?
Oh, yes. So you're more even because of your sleep-wake cycles. So your dopamine and your serotonin and your melatonin, all of your hormonal chemicals, cortisol, they even out, and your temperament stays the same, or very slight fluctuations. Then your need for caca food decreases.
I like that, what she calls that.
From the sun.
Can you say that again?
Caca food.
Caca food.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have to come up. There's a branding design for Richard. Caca food.
Yeah. So when we have food that is not good for us, so fast food, things high in sugar and salt and fat, bad fats, we want less and less of that. So the more we gaze at the sun, the less we will even crave that. And we'll be drawn towards organic foods or closer to organic as we can get.
And foods that are closer to the sun, like fruits and veggies and nuts,
because
right?
they're high.
High. That means high vibration.
Yeah. High in vibration, but also high off the ground. Right.
Nuts aren't, though. Well, wait a second.
Some are.
Oh, okay.
So what are you doing with? So you're doing sun gazing too, and
Yes.
We talked about the massage a little bit. But do you have a website?
I don't yet because I ran into some difficulties getting it. My web guy kind of didn't respond, so I got to find a new web person.
I can show you a good web solution.
All right, so we'll talk after.
Okay.
All right.
So.
But I wanted to bring this actually back into massaging because I know when you do that, the cool thing about you is you're an intuitive. Actually, I really consider you a goddess. You've got this goddess energy, Wicca energy about you.
I'm not Wicca.
Okay, a goddess energy.
Witch, yes. Wicca, no.
You're a witch?
Yes. It's a title. It's not anything weird.
See,
we'll get into that after this.
And we're talking witch in the true sense of the word, okay? The true sense of the word.
What does
not
your mom think of all this?
She's fine.
Now, but she had to go through counseling.
Yeah. No, she's fine.
I'm kidding.
She's fine. Mom was okay.
But no, you do have this. You're an intuitive, and you do have this energy, a very grounding energy. And when you do massaging, it's not just about the massaging, because I know you do some counseling for people as well during the massage.
If they talk, if they don't talk, then it is what it is. But
like a straight up massage, you mean?
Yes, it's just massage therapy. If they start talking, we get to the issues behind the tension in the tissues, and things come up. And often
they're crying.
Oh yeah, often I'll say something and it'll trigger tears. And then I will have to, according to my college, once an emotional breakdown happens, you no longer massage. It seems kind of weird anyway. And we work through that issue because whatever comes through the body, what we're holding on to, can often be released as I release a trigger point, as I release scar tissue, as I release tightened muscles where somebody's guarded. Once it's released, often too, so is the emotion. So there's tears, sometimes anger. I've only had that experience once, but that's okay. That's enough. But yeah, and as we talk about that thing that's bothering them, the tension in the muscles release. They feel lighter. Often after the treatment, they feel like they've had the best counseling session. I'm not a counselor, so I'm not saying that, but they feel they've had like the best counseling session simply because I listened, and for no other reason. Like I don't say, oh well, you should do X, Y, and Z, but I might offer, okay, well maybe this is it. Or
But you're
maybe that is
massaging them
it.
at the same time,
Yes.
right? So you're releasing probably at a cellular level.
Absolutely.
Well, you're going internal and external, right?
Yeah. Because like we're not just a physical body. We're a physical body, mental body, emotional body, spiritual body. And all of those integrate, and our belief system, our mental patterns, our thoughts, they all contribute to issues in our body. And so whether you have pain, whether you have stiffness, achiness, even symptoms like constipation or upset stomach, that's all something that is outside of the physical manifesting in the physical.
So you're addressing everything at the same
As
time,
much as will be presented in that session if they talk.
which has a much greater impact than if you're
Absolutely.
just
Absolutely.
going for a massage.
So if somebody's going to like not take advantage, but use your services or whatever what you provide for people, so the massage
Yes.
/ life-changing counseling.
Yeah. So life
What would you
coaching.
call that?
We'll say life coaching because there's really
Or
no,
emotional release. Actually, emotional release. It's massage. It's actually muscle and emotional release.
Yeah.
Really.
And anything.
You should come up with a new thing.
I am.
Muscle and emotional release.
No. I'm actually developing my own healing system.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay. So Hugh, ask her about that.
Well, do you have a name for it yet?
Yes, I do, and I'm sitting on it until it's at the completion, so it can be copywritten.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
A healing system.
Healing system.
To deal with what kind of...
The four energy bodies: the physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual, all at the same time.
And are you getting this from Gaia? How are you receiving this information?
This one comes from the angels.
Okay.
Yeah. Center. Yeah.
Okay,
And
so...
go ahead.
What?
No, go ahead.
Well, I want to ask you about the crystals
Yes.
and the fairies.
That's what I
And
was
is there-
going to
what else
ask.
could I
See,
ask you
there
about?
you go. That was what I was
'Cause
going to
I
do.
just got 3 things here: massage, crystals, and fairies.
Fairies.
Fairy spelled F-A-E-R-I-E-S.
I know. Well, I spelt it my own way.
Oh, okay. With an apostrophe. Okay, we know.
But, maybe there's something else that I should be asking you about that you do, that you work with.
Crystals and the fairies.
Yeah.
Crystal sounds interesting.
Crystals is fantastic. Crystals is the new healing way. If you're following anything on either Facebook or YouTube, there's many practitioners coming out now who are using crystal therapy to help heal things like tumors,
Wow.
polyps, removal of scar tissue without massage therapy, emotional traumas, just by the use of crystals. So that is growing, and I believe that is because we haven't been using the crystals, the stones, the way we were intended to, and it's recently, I'd say maybe the last, probably collectively maybe 5 to 8 years, where there's been a kind of emergence.
Okay, but that would make sense because with the birth of the crystal children.
Yes.
That actually makes a lot of sense
Yes.
because they're probably bringing that here
Yeah.
and triggering it.
And triggering, absolutely, because I was talking to somebody just a couple of days ago with regards to most light workers that I know of collected rocks as children, or had.
I did that.
I did that too.
Yeah.
Are you a light worker?
I did that like huge, big
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
And we just liked them because they were pretty, or they were cool, or they were neat. Or
Yeah,
they had like
yeah.
different. Oh, look, here's a face of a frog.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
like, whatever.
yeah, exactly.
But what we're actually drawn to is the energy that was within that stone. And that energy can be used to help us heal, to get back to our crystalline self, which is our energy self.
So you're talking crystals and stones,
And stones.
not just crystals.
Not just crystals.
Okay.
Stones can be used, basically stones help to ground, but they can also help to focus.
Okay.
For example, when you skip rocks along the water, that stone can help you focus because now you watch it skip across the water.
What's the most times you've skipped a stone, Treela?
7.
That's it?
Dude.
Come on, I've done over
That
20.
was challenging. Yeah, well.
No
How long do
way.
you spend on the lake doing
No
this to get
You
20?
just have
way.
to find the right... Yeah.
Okay, mine
What?
goes right in, so that I'm not focusing very long.
You got to look for flat rocks,
Yeah,
Sandra.
flat rock, but then it's the right angle of the hand. And
Okay, Sudbury doesn't have flat rocks. And nobody ever taught me.
Nobody taught you?
Okay, well then field
I'll
trip.
teach you.
Field trip.
I
Let's
think
go.
I need an emotional release session now.
Yeah. Let's have one.
Not right now.
So okay, so is it possible that crystal and stone therapy can actually replace invasive stuff? Can they remove tumors and things?
Yes.
They got those crystal healing beds now, those
Yeah.
amethyst
Yeah.
beds and all that stuff.
Yes, but it's not okay. It isn't like if you go into a rock store and you take a stone and you say, okay, I'm going to put this on my brain tumor, and I'm going to put it there and it's going to go away. It's a tool. It's an instrument. It's not the be-all and end-all to everything. What actually heals is us.
You have to believe it, right?
Yeah. We can heal ourselves from everything. Everything. There is nothing on this planet that we can't heal ourselves from if we believe we can be healed. It's that belief factor that is key.
Wow. Now, go ahead.
What do you think about those stones? You see those crystal stones
awesome.
over there?
Yes.
What do you think of those?
I think they're awesome. I like that big white one.
The big white one?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a gift.
It's fantastic.
From?
Somebody.
From a fellow, he got it up near Bancroft.
Nice.
Yeah. It supposedly has some special, it's quartz,
Yes.
but the other quartzes are from up near Perry Sound, a little bit different
And they're
properties.
And they look a little bit deeper.
They're all quartz though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they look like they would be more in the earth, whereas the crystal was probably more like the white one was more exposed to the sun.
The other ones were actually in the middle of a forest.
Okay.
Which means they wouldn't have a lot of sun, right?
Yeah.
The sun
Right.
kind of makes them the white color.
Yeah.
So can we talk a little bit about fairies?
Sure.
Okay, I know like the tooth fairy, F-A-I-R-E-S, R-I-E-S, sorry, but I don't know the difference between, I know there's F-A-E-R-I-E-S, and they're different.
It's just the way people spell it.
Oh, okay. Okay, so what are,
what's with these fairies? Frankly, it sounds made up.
they're S disturbers.
Fairies, there's different categories of fairies. There's fairies, then there's pixies, then there's trolls, and yes, there are leprechauns. But they're kind of like
and gnomes.
Elves and gnomes. And
So
elves.
do you see these?
I don't see them. I hear them, or I see the flicker.
Okay. Now I'm going to tell you my story. So I know
Okay.
I sound pretty skeptical because I am a skeptical.
That's
okay?
good.
Right?
You're a skeptic.
But I was up on Snake Island one time.
Yes.
You ever been to Snake Island?
No, I don't know even where that is.
It's just in Lake Simcoe.
Okay.
Just near Keswick. And it's native land.
Okay.
Right? But there's cottages on it. They lease it on long-term leases. People have cottages, but there's no roads or anything.
Right.
Anyways, I went there with a friend, and she saw fairies there, and we had to leave some tobacco there
Okay.
as a gift to the fairies
Okay.
and the native land. Right?
And what did you think of that, Hugh? Did you think that was crazy?
No.
No?
No. Plus, I've heard,
Yes.
okay, I know this sounds crazy, especially for the skeptical scientific types, right? But you know that there's that, who did it? In Scotland, that colony, Findhorn.
Right.
You heard about that, right?
I think so.
So they work with nature spirits and stuff.
Right.
It's a very kind of barren environment, but they've produced, working with these nature spirits apparently, very productive land. They've taken barren land and made it very productive from a food point of view, right? Growing stuff that you might not think you can grow there. So tell us about these fairies and gnomes and imps.
I didn't say imps.
Imps.
That's another word that some people use.
For fairies?
No.
So you just see the
They could be
flicker.
More like, I see like flicker, almost like a flash of a light.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll hear giggling or running.
Do they actually physically move things or
Yes.
tip things?
Yes.
Okay.
Usually to get your attention, to say, hey, we're here. They also like to take things, especially if they're shiny. So, for example, car keys.
That's why people keep losing their keys, isn't it?
Yeah. So.
How about cell phones?
Yeah. No, they're not that shiny. Yours maybe, because yours kind of has.
It's purple.
some flashy stuff on it. Yeah.
Bling, bling.
But anything that's shiny, they're drawn to, and they just like it. It's like, ooh, it's pretty, and yeah, kind of like us with diamonds.
So they can actually physically move something.
Yes, they will take it. But often, what could happen is it could also be, I wouldn't say invisible, but it'll seem like it's not there. So they can cloak
I know.
it.
I
So
did
they
that
can
yesterday.
cloak
I tell you, that happened to me yesterday.
Okay.
I was looking for my cell phone case.
Right.
And it was right in front of my eyes.
Yes. Yeah, they can cloak things so that you don't find it. And usually there's a higher reason for it. For example, they don't want you to find your car keys because the direction in which you're taking, somebody's going to short turn, cut you off, and it's going to cause an accident, and that could cause somebody else
So
to
they're saving
die.
your life, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, or let's say there's somebody at work you really don't like, if you're working in an office environment where there's hundreds of people, and they're saving you that 30 seconds so you don't run into them.
Wow.
So there's a higher purpose.
Can they ever cause harm, though? Because you said some of these guys are troublemakers. Can they?
I said that. I don't think Treela said that.
They're troublemakers in the sense of you're late for work, you need your car keys.
Gremlins.
Yeah.
So it's apparent stress, but really, if you knew the bigger picture.
Yeah. And then as soon as you surrender, okay, you don't want me to be at work at this time, that's okay. Allow me to find my keys when you feel I'm ready to go to work. And then leave the room where you think you left the keys. Go brush your teeth again for the third time if you want. Go fix your tie or, change your shoes. And then go back to where you think you left the keys, and often the keys will show up.
That's what happened to me yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay, so, Treela, we're just about out of time.
Okay.
We've had a really good time here.
Yeah.
Is there anything we missed that you want to mention?
How can people get in touch with you if they want a massage / emotional release session?
If they would like to schedule an appointment with me for massage therapy, they can contact me at Treela Smith, RMT, @gmail.com. And they can book an appointment. I take appointments in my home right now, so Wednesdays and Fridays I'm available. So Wednesdays 1 to 7, Fridays 10 to 4.
What do you do the rest of the time?
I work elsewhere.
She has clients. She works in clinics and stuff, right?
So you're like a legitimate massage person.
I'm a
You've
registered
got the
massage therapist.
RMT designation.
I got a number. It's all covered under health insurance benefits, the whole 9 yards.
So they teach all this woo-woo stuff in RMT school?
No, that's all me.
That's all Treela.
Okay.
But I think it's very cool that your name is Treela because that's your birth name, right?
That's my birth name.
And that's just a perfect name to channel Gaia. I mean,
Treela?
come on.
Yeah.
How could it be any more perfect? Could you have a more natural nature name? Except maybe White Eagle or something? Blue Buffalo? No, maybe not Blue Buffalo.
I like the Blue Buffalo name. Blue Buffalo. Okay, Treela, this has been great. I wish we could keep going all day. It just feels so comfortable.
Absolutely.
Being with you and your grounding earth energy.
And the guides, it's because she's got a whole audience. She's got an entourage with her that's making us feel comfortable.
Really? Okay, good. Well, okay, we're going to have to
Thank you, Treela.
Thank you, Sandra. Thank you, Hugh.
You're welcome. Okay, so that's our show.
Awesome
so maybe
show.
Let's get a massage now and have a big...
Yeah, see, now you want to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, see? Awesome show, Hugh?
Yes, it was.
Yay!
Ow. It just hurt me.
Did I hurt you?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm stronger than I think.
Okay.
See, I've been eating chia seeds.
Okay, we're going to say bye
strong.
now. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in on this very low-key but fun show. And we're going to go out. Let's play that Bella video again. Why don't we go out with that? Run the credits over that.
Okay, sounds good.
So we'll see you all next time right here on Liquid Lunch, ThatChannel.com.
It's late now, winter's on its way now. There'll soon be a crowd out calling our names. Yeah, we'll hide here till we wake with the sun, dear. When the searchers appear, we'll bury ourselves. changes in time, yeah. That is left is your promises, yeah.